Hello YouTube, De-bodgery here, doing my other favorite thing, building EV stuff. So, let me talk today about Smart BMSs that use the Zhaozhang app. So you can see it up there, I'm probably saying it wrong, that Zhaozhang, whatever, Chinese app. There is a whole series of these things. My favorite seller on AliExpress, and you can also find the same seller on eBay, is IC Go Go Go. They seem to be honest. A lot of Chinese sellers aren't, or they'll try to bullshit you into something, or not follow through. And I've never had IC Go 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 do that to me. They've always delivered exactly what they said they were going to deliver, without giving you any crap about it. So anyway, I deal with them, and they sell BMSs and battery supplies and things like that. Great folks to deal with. I've spent, I don't know, thousands with them, of which I've bought quite a few of these BMSs that I've modded. Right now, this one, I have, before I start talking about the modding of the BMS, I want to talk about something else, and that is how to wire up a BMS. So over here, you have all the balance connections. I'm not really going to talk about those individual wires. There's a perfectly good diagram that describes that well. What I want to talk about is your power connections, and a lot of people do this wrong. So on every BMS that I've ever seen, there is a C minus, a P minus, and a B minus. C minus is short for charge minus. So this little 14-og wire, that goes to my charger, and here is my charging port right here that's going to go on the EV that this battery pack goes into. So this is for charging. It's not for running your EV. This over here is P minus, and that is power minus. So that is the negative side that powers your EV, not this over here, which is C minus. That's charge, that's power. This over here is BAT minus, and that is where your battery pack plugs in. So here's battery minus off of this battery pack over here, and that goes to here. This big wire right here is from the other battery pack that's in this ABS box, and that goes to here. So in between here and here are two copper buses, a bunch of shunts, and some MOSFETs. All right, so the copper bus across here connects this BAT minus, and then there's a bunch of shunts. Originally they were 0.5 watts, and I think there was 10 of them. I pulled all of those, and I replaced all of them with 5-watt shunts. And then there's another copper bus right about here, and then right about here are a row of MOSFETs, top and bottom, on the board. When I bought this BMS, I got the cheapest one I could, just because I knew I was going to be yanking, whatever garbage MOSFETs they had from China out of there and replacing them with AOT 290s, which is what's in here now. So I believe there is 10 MOSFETs on top, and then there's also space for 10 more on the bottom. So every single one of those is populated with AOT 290 100-volt MOSFETs, from a legitimate source like DigiKey, not something Chinesium. So anyway, that's in there, and the 4 that were in there, they were like 3407s or something. Those are now soldered into the C minus bank. And you can kind of see it up in there, but I added some 14-og wire across there to kind of reinforce that bus. But I didn't really care, because this isn't going to see more than, say, like 30 amps. So it's plenty strong enough for that. So right down the backside here, on the tabs for the MOSFETs, there's a nice big hunk of copper. And this wire, which is the output side, power minus, that is soldered directly to that big hunk of copper. And of course, the other side, that piece of that right there, that trace on both sides of the board, has been reinforced by copper. And of course, BAT minus has been reinforced by a nice flat piece of copper. And of course, all the shunts are much more powerful, and there's more of them. So as far as the amperage of this BMS, it was originally from the factory rated for 40 amps, according to the label. So it says, 40A on there. Now I have a high level of confidence that this will easily handle 300 amps, and I have set that in the BMS. So these BMSs are highly hackable, and you don't need anything more than an Android phone to set them up. And at least for that one setting, if I go into param setting, and I'll go into greater detail in this part in a different video, this is like 103. You can see right there I have the amps set to 300. I have a high degree of confidence that this BMS will have no problem, never warm up, being able to dish out 300 amps. So anyway, yeah, I've done this to many of these BMSs, and it just kind of depends. There's smaller ones that are kind of square rather than rectangular. Those ones, I would say 150, 200 amps is no problem, and I've done the same thing. Replaced all the MOSFETs, beefed up the buses with copper, used bigger shunts, like the 5-watt shunts, things like that to really improve their current handling. Great little BMSs, not very expensive. You can find them on eBay from IC Go, or I prefer AliExpress. You don't have to deal with eBay fees, so you get them cheaper. Same BMSs, great, highly functional, inexpensive, smart BMSs. In my opinion, the cost of these things makes it so that you don't need a dumb BMS ever if you're looking to save money, because they're just not that expensive. The smart ones, the smaller smart ones, I build a lot of packs that are 16S or 20S. You're going to pay like $60 for the thing. Or you buy a dumb BMS that's 20S, and you can't do any monitoring, you can't do any programming, and you'll pay like 45. So, the price difference is not that great. To have something where, I'm seeing status on my phone for my BMS. So yeah, like battery state. This information is super useful to me. I can see every cell in the pack. I can see how well it charged. I can see its discharge curve. Let me just go to a random cell. So, you get this nice graph that shows me exactly how every single cell in the battery pack is doing. This is brilliant. There's issues with the app where it's not exactly perfect. And I'll get to that in a different video. But, everything I need to know about any battery pack I might possibly have is all right here, monitored by this BMS and shown on my phone. I couldn't ask for more for the price, and they're highly hackable. So this is a great option. Anyway, in my next video, I will talk a little bit more about how things are set up, because I want to show you something that I see, or that I observe, that's actually pretty normal. So video 1, video 2 will come in a second. Take care, everyone on YouTube, and I will talk to you soon.